You know how every year we tell ourselves, next year I'll be a better version of me? I used to take that better version of me very, very seriously. I would write down my New Year resolutions and make sure they were ticked off by the end of the year. I used to think growth meant improving the parts of me I didn't like. For example, becoming less sensitive, less judgmental, less overthinking. And I'm starting to realize that's actually very exhausting. Hi, I'm Jess. I am an ex-corporate girl turned yoga teacher. I spent 10 years in high pressure, fast paced tech companies, and now I'm a recovering overachiever and overthinker. I do a lot of yoga and practice mindfulness, and a lot of these practices talk about receiving the positive and letting go of the negative. And I get it, I really do. But recently, I started wondering, what if I am tired not because of the stress, but because I keep trying to get rid of parts of me I don't like or avoid confronting them. For example, I recently have this presentation, a meeting. I could feel the anxious part of me waking up, right? My shoulder starts to tense up to my ears, my chest starts to tighten, my thoughts got a little bit louder. And my first instinct used to be like, stop it, Jess. Be confident, don't be awkward, don't overthink. I would walk into that room or show up in that meeting trying to be a version of me that didn't have those traits. But underneath, I could feel that I was quietly fighting myself. I was anxious about being anxious. On the outside, I looked completely fine, capable, prepared. But inside, I was panicking, I was bracing. And I think that's where a lot of stress, exhaustion actually lives, not just in the workload or the volume, but in the constant effort of trying not to be who we are or who we think we are. Does that make sense? So what changed for me was actually very small. Instead of trying to silence that anxious part, I started letting her sit next to me, like we're sharing a warm cup of tea, like we're friends. I didn't try to fix her, I didn't try to upgrade her. I just let her be there. And honestly, when I realized that, something in me starts softening. I'm starting to see that version of me, that over anxious, that overthinking part of me, not as an enemy. She is an older pattern in my nervous system that's trying to protect me. She's not a weakness. She's trying to prepare me. And when I know how to work with her, she actually becomes my strength and my superpower. She was never the enemy. My rejection and avoidance of them was. So now when I think about bettering myself or becoming a better version of myself, it feels slightly different. It feels less about upgrading or leveling up and more about integration. Maybe I don't need to remove the parts of me I don't like. Maybe I just need to stop fighting them, because fighting with yourself every day is really, really tiring. So if you are feeling exhausted, drained, or burnout, I wonder, is it really about the stress, or are you simply trying to be someone you think you're supposed to be?